Hello and welcome back to Out of the Ice.
Hey, we are here live from our apartment.
Because everyone is in their apartment. I mean, that's not different for us, but we've been here like for way longer than normal on a continual basis.
I don't even need to leave for work anymore. It's weird.
Some would say weird, some would say nice. I don't know.
And, I was trying to think on when we were I'm like, when did we even watch this movie? And
it was before the Corvid
yeah, I was thinking like it's before Corvid times. Yeah. Holy crap! Because I was looking back at my notes from the movie. I'm like, oh god, it's been a while.
Yeah, BC before COVID.
Oh jeez.
So yeah, this is taking place during the quarantine is when we're recording it, but. Enough about that, because I'm sure you're hearing enough of it. We watched Big Trouble in Little China.
Ooh, yes.
The epitome of a cult classic.
So, funny, when we were trying to decide what to watch for the next episode, I just, Scott recommended just see what DVDs I got. And I'm like, okay. And the art for Big Trouble in Little China grabbed me for the DVD cover.
Yeah.
It was really neat.
Yeah, on the Blu-ray that I have, it's made to look like a used rental store VHS. So I thought that was always really cool. Mm-hmm. I know that there were more in that line. Like, it was a variant cover line. But I don't remember what else had them.
I feel like maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I feel like there was a time we went to Walmart and we saw a bunch like that.
Yeah, that's where I got this.
Oh, yeah. You want to know other things I forgot?
Oh, my God.
When I was going through the movie notes again, I'm like, John Carpenter, who's that?
Email your bitch slaps to @Kathleen.
@Cat27, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, just roast her. Roast her. Oh, my God, roast her.
Good old memory.
Animal.
What was the last episode? What have I forgotten already?
Oh my god. So yeah, we watched Big Trouble in Little China, which I was very excited about because I haven't watched that since, I don't know, like maybe pre-2010. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's
old now.
Yeah, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
Like over 10 years maybe. But that was a movie that I watched when I was camping in an RV on a black and white TV.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
That's also how I watched Monster Squad, which is another movie that we need to get to eventually.
Oh.
And then you'll finally get the reference of Wolfman's got nards.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they in the movie they asked the question, would it hurt if you kicked the Wolfman in the nards? It's like, what? Doesn't have nards? It's like, what do you mean? Wolfman's gotta have nards. And so eventually they kick the Wolfman in the dick, and he topples over, and it's like, Wolfman's got nards.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, that whole movie is literally just pretty much all of the classic Universal monsters escape into the real world, and this group called the Monster Squad, who are like huge fans of horror movies, have to stop them. And of course, it was made in like the 80s or 90s, so this group is a bunch of Goonies-aged kids.
Oh.
So it's essentially, think Stranger Things, but not as gruesome or depressing, and against the Universal monsters instead of Cthulhu beasts.
Those are Stranger Things. Those are references I get.
I hated that show.
I don't. That's not surprising.
It was bad, in my opinion. I know a lot of people like that show, and I really, really wanted to like it. Like, I went through half of season 1 until finally I was just like, this is just not for me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine.
The final straw was when the sister's best friend gets murdered.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, they spent every episode before this saying that essentially building up that the sister's not just an idiot, not just like the love-hungry teen of the 80s and all this stuff. And then as soon as boy happens, she literally gives up on the signal that she told her friend to give her, and then lets her friend get murdered.
And
she gets a booty call, and then as soon as the booty call is done, the dude just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Oh yeah, and Barb, like, they basically just stopped giving a shit. They for the rest of the season, like, to the point where the fan base was pissed about it and kept screaming justice for Barb until they were like, oh shit, yeah, we need to bring that up in season 2. There is a dead girl.
Yeah, like, literally, I think, like, she just goes, oh, where's Barb? And then it's like, she probably left. And then that's it.
Yeah.
So even after I quit, like, just nobody fucking brings it up.
No, not really.
Not
at least I
stupid.
remember.
That's stupid as shit. Also, that was just a shitty way for that character to die.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been cool if she at least, got a hit in. Like, grabbed something and showed, like, foreshadowed, like, oh, the monster can be killed because she hurts it.
Yeah.
And then dies. Because then at least she wasn't just a waste of a fucking character.
Yeah.
Bad. Bad show. Not to mention the show was honestly kind of boring. It was really slow.
You also hate slow burn.
I hate slow burn.
Which is, every day I think a little bit more about what I'm gonna force you to play Trails in the Sky for a recording one day, and you're gonna hate the shit out of it.
See, you say Trails in the Sky, but my brain instantly goes to that shitty Nintendo Switch shovelware game Vroom in the Night Sky, which is literally about a tiny witch girl who has her broom on her back, rides a motorcycle in the sky, has shitty controls, and one of the worst translations I've ever seen.
Huh.
It's pretty great. It's awful, but it's great.
Back to the topic on hand. So after picking the movie out and Scott, and sometime after Scott ambushed me, it's like, what's this movie about? And I kind of scream, and you upload it on Patreon, because that's a pretty cool thing we do.
Yeah, if you can not subscribe, but donate to our Patreon at a certain tier, and you essentially get a video version of what we used to do on this podcast, where we would start before Kat had seen the movie. Essentially, I just blindsided her with that question while shoving a camera in her face. So, if you want to see that, her genuine, no-knowledge, predictions, go to our Patreon.
Yeah.
Link will be in the description.
Cool stuff to come. But, so, my notes going in beforehand, when we were sitting on the couch booting up the movie, I literally have no idea what's going on. I guess Scott mentioned something about Raiden's design being based on a character in this movie.
Raiden.
I totally thought this was an Arnold movie until no.
Somehow, even after seeing the box art, which was clearly not Arnold.
I don't know why. My brain just defaulted to that.
This movie was made in the 80s, so obviously it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
No. He was in a good amount of movies, but, I mean, shit.
No, it was actually Star-Lord's dad.
Yeah.
And let's see. The title includes trouble, and the cover gives me action movie vibes, so I'm pretty sure this is an action movie. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I have no idea what the hell's going on.
So, the plot of Big Trouble in Little China, at this point, if you're in Kat's boat and hadn't seen this movie, pause now, go find it. I'm sure it's available somewhere on the internet. Watch it and then come back here if you don't want to be spoiled, because I'm about to spoil it. So, there is a truck driver who, what was his name? Jack Torrin?
Yeah, Jack something, yeah.
Yeah. I forget his last name, but it's like Jack Torrens or Jack Archer, something like that.
Yeah, I was I closed the Wikipedia page, but anywho, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, this guy who, like, is kind of just, at the start you think he's just building himself up like this, but he's just building himself up as this badass and stuff like this, and he's in Little China, in, I believe, San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah. it was either San Francisco or LA, and I'm like, I think San Francisco's going with Little China.
Yeah, again, I had to go back to Wikipedia to help me remember stuff. It was San Fran.
I think LA has Little Tokyo. But so he's there, and like he's got a truck, and apparently it's his own truck. Like he bought the truck, and like I guess he's one of those truck drivers that goes cross country and just like freelances. Because
freelance truck driver.
I think that is a thing.
Huh.
Yeah, like I think that is a thing, because my dad was a truck driver for a long time, and he said that some people who like do cross country trucking, they just buy their own semi and trailer, and then they just kind of basically license their services out in contracts.
And it was a little jarring with like, because like it's like, oh, it's just an ordinary truck driver, but in my brain it's like, okay, because like your dad was a truck driver, I've seen him, and then my dad, he's been driving a truck for like over 20 years. No, this is like different images for truck drivers I got in my head.
No, Jack is very well. First off, I think my dad looks a little bit more like Jack than yours.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I said like the image, like the mental images didn't line up for me.
Yeah, like a younger version of my dad, essentially me but fit and kind of ripped, could kind of pass as Jack if I got a mullet. But but Jack is much more of the heroic, idyllic person, instead of my dad, who is very much a flawed human.
Samesies.
Yeah, he tries, but he has issues. But
I love Dad, Mom, if you're ever listening.
They won't. They won't. They'd have to love you to do that. Anyway, my parents don't even love me enough to watch this.
At least they're member Patreon.
Yeah, mine are members of the Patreon. What happened with yours? Your mom literally ghosted you.
Honestly, I think she pulled the old cat and forgot.
Bring it up again.
I will.
But yeah, so he's very much the idyllic thing. He's kind of brash, kind of rough around the edges, but clearly a good dude.
Kind of a reluctant hero.
Yeah, and it does foreshadow that he has very good reflexes.
Ooh, yeah, I was thinking about that.
Because his friend has a knife, like a big old knife, and is like, this can cut through anything. Tries to strike it on the bottle, and the bottle doesn't break, and instead it just goes flying at Jack, who just catches it immediately, no effort. And so, but anyway, like he wins in a poker game with this guy, and it's like, okay, I'll get you the money, but I need to go do this thing first. And Jack is like, all right, cool, I'll give you a ride in my truck, because he's cool like that. So they go to the airport to pick up this dude. What was the Chinese guy's name?
Oh my god, I wrote it down.
It wasn't Wang, was it?
It was Wang.
It was Wang? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't Wang, right? That's just me being dumb.
No, I was.
Yeah, so they go, and Wang has this girl who he knew in China who he wants to marry. It turns out this girl has green eyes, which is pretty rare for a Chinese girl, apparently. I don't know how true that is, but...
Yeah,
I don't know how true that is. I didn't look up genetics.
Honestly, when I saw her and the whole green eye thing made me think that he's just maybe biracial or something.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But I think the point was that it was full blood Chinese. Well, no, because
Gracie,
later on, Gracie.
Exactly. So could have been.
Yeah, which is weird because it's like, oh, two girls with green eyes, and I'm like, can't be that rare. Like, no. Green eyes can't be that. I have green eyes.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, more green-gray.
Yeah.
Like, I have hazel green, so there's, like, flecks of gray, green, and blue in them. But more often than not, the green shows through more. Mm-hmm. In the summer, in the light, for some reason...
Blue.
The blue shines through more.
Yeah, that's probably why it says my eyes are blue on my birth certificate, because that's kind of the same thing for me.
Yeah, I just have those, like, fucking kaleidoscope-looking... flex in my iris, but which honestly I'm pretty cool with that.
It's pretty cool. Your eyes, it's like your eyes like to be all colorful, and you are colorblind.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. Colorblind artist with colorful eyes. Why, God? What did I do? I know what I did. All right. So anyway, Jack goes and gets there, but unfortunately this girl has green eyes. And this Chinese mafia, I forget the actual name of it. It was like the clan of the... Wasn't the clan
Lords
of the...
No, that's the street gang. Lords of Death.
No, I think that was it. Lords of Death.
Cool.
Yeah. So Lords of Death. And they show up and kidnap this girl. And so now Jack and Wang go off in the truck to chase him down. However, they go to this really bad place where the Lords of Death and whatever the good street gang is, I forget their name too.
Same.
But they're like having this fight, and essentially like Jack and Wang get in the crossfire of this. They have to be like they're trying to get out with the truck, and all of a sudden these three like guys with storm powers show up. There's a wind guy, like
it was thunder, rain, and wind.
Yeah, thunder, rain, wind, and thunder guy is just Raiden. He's got the hat like Raiden, except bigger.
So like
he shoots lightning.
So like, has it ever been like directly said? Like,
yes.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, it has. I'm almost positive it has. Because literally pretty much any Mortal Kombat retrospective video says, and he's based on this. So Ed Boon must have said it at some point.
So I guess that brings me to another, like, because that was one of, I had a few questions coming into this that I thought, like, you probably answered me before, but I forgot. And hey, let's get the viewers a little more involved in our watches. So Big Trouble in Little China, as far as actually being relevant to pop culture, I'm sure that's
there's a lot of stuff actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that would be one of the big.
Yeah, it brought forth Raiden.
Mm-hmm.
It's a John Carpenter movie, which John Carpenter would also go on to make The Thing. He made Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
He made I believe he was the one who did T2, or was that James Cameron?
I was looking it up earlier, but I forgot.
It might have been James Cameron. Anyway, he's made a lot of movies. Unfortunately, a lot of them end up being cult classics. Yeah. Because he makes really good movies, but unfortunately, a lot of them just don't make money.
Yeah.
For some reason.
And this was one of them, as I remember. Yeah.
And, but it's enough of a classic. Like, John Carpenter, I'm pretty sure, also made They Live, which is a movie that's also very much like this, but with aliens. Ooh. Is that a spoiler? Ah, fuck it, you won't remember.
Bring this clip back later.
But so anyway, like, yeah, there's a few things like I believe 80stees.com still sells like Big Trouble in Little China shirts. Like, I think they even have a costume shirt that is like Jack's tank. Huh. And like, a lot of people I've seen actually quote the truck driver quote that Jack does. It's like, when your back is up against the wall, like that thing that he bookends the thing with.
Yeah.
Then it had a kick-ass song.
It did, yeah. The music was real though.
In Little China.
Just all the music was just.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so 80s.
But yeah, I think Raiden probably is the longest lasting pop culture effect, but it's a cult classic, so when you find people who know the movie, they fucking know the movie. Like me. It's kind of in that same vein as like the Evil Deads and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Although Evil Dead honestly has kind of started to become more mainstream,
because granted, it was on it was like on some sort of movie channel, but it was on like what. I think. Well,
I mean, also like
Army of Darkness was on, and like my dad.
Army of Darkness was the most mainstream one for the longest time, but it then got comic books, it got tie-ins, it got video games, all associated with the Army of Darkness brand because that was the closest one. But then there was the Star show Ash vs. Evil Dead, which was supposed to get 5 seasons, only got like 3.
Oh.
So, But
as far thinking. Now I'm thinking.
And now
about,
Ash is coming to Mortal Kombat.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, that's with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. He's coming to Mortal Kombat. I think that's been confirmed at this point. It's been rumored for a long time, but like I think it's been confirmed yet now. But yeah, and honestly, I'm surprised that we haven't gotten any Big Trouble in Little China stuff in Mortal Kombat. Like, I'm surprised Raiden hasn't got a costume that makes him look like the guy who he was based off of.
Yeah.
Or just Jack Torrance. Or just, you know, a costume for Stryker, the guy who has a gun, that gives him a very similar look. You know, like, I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. Only a matter of time, I'm sure. But,
yeah.
So after that, these guys go around and they eventually, this other guy who is just looks like Sang Soo from Mortal Kombat. I wouldn't be surprised if Sang Soo? No. Shang is it Shang Soo or is it Shang Sun?
You're asking the wrong person.
I think it's Shang Sun. The "your soul is mine" guy. Yeah, I think it's Shang Sun and then Shao Kahn and anyway, that'll be when we do a Mortal Kombat episode.
Oh yeah, that will be necessary because I'm like, I know Raiden, and yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
You don't know Scorpion?
No.
Come here!
No.
Get over here!
Oh no. No, not really.
He's a guy with the grappling hook.
No.
Sub-Zero?
That's a familiar name.
He freezes people and he's a ninja.
Okay, yeah, I know. Now I know.
Yeah,
that.
Scorpion's the ninja that goes, get over here.
It's still not.
How? He's literally... Scorpion is the logo for NetherRealms.
You're speaking Spanish to me, my dude.
That you should understand me then. No habla español?
No habla español.
Señorita Arias. Why no habla español? But anyway,
you just witnessed live action Scott reacting to things I don't know and legitimately being surprised about it.
Fucking Raiden, Sonya, Johnny Cage, Stryker, Goro, Centauro? Did I already say Kano? Probably did. He's Australian and bad. Baraka. Rain, my favorite ninja. He's purple.
Ooh.
AKA Purple Rain. And then there's Noob Saibot, which is literally just the two creators' names backwards. Tobias and Boone.
Oh.
Noob Saibot. Then there is also Sub-Zero. And then there is Cassie Cage, the daughter of Sonya and Johnny Cage. And then there is Kung Lao and Liu Kang. I might have already said Liu Kang. Shao Kahn, Quan Chi, my brain is blanking here. Fuck it. Freddy Krueger, guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Joker was in a Mortal Kombat recently. Scorpion was in Injustice 1. And wasn't in Injustice 2. I'm mad. I'm mad. He was the best in Injustice because he played like Mortal Kombat 9 and no one could stop me. Teleport, smack, teleport, smack, teleport, smack. Dead. Oh, the power. Shut the fuck up, Kal-El. Who's Kal-El?
I don't know.
Who's Clark Kent?
Superman.
So who's Kal-El?
I don't know.
Superman! Kal-El is Clark.
Oh.
That's his Kryptonian name.
Oh, I didn't know
like
that.
Goku is Kakarot.
I don't know that.
God. The shit I have to put up with. Who's Kara Zor-El?
if we're still, I would guess, using my context clues, if we're still on DC, that'd be Wonder Woman's. No, I don't. Stop giving me that look.
Yes, known Kryptonian Wonder Woman.
I don't know DC.
Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
Kara is a female name, but Kryptonian.
I forgot Supergirl's a thing.
Oh my god.
Oh.
No. No. Wonder Woman's name is Diana.
Right, the Amazonian thing.
Yes, she's Themysciran.
Yes, okay, now I remember that.
Oh my god.
It hurts him so bad.
What's Aquaman's name?
I have no idea.
Arthur.
Oh.
Literally just Arthur. I forget his last name. Who cares?
Oof. I thought it was like basically the joke that Aquaman sucks.
In Super Friends, yes. Okay. In the actual comics, he's a fucking badass. He's pretty much on par with Superman.
Huh.
Yeah. Especially in the water. At least nowadays. I think in the Silver Age he kind of sucked. But, you know. I'm just waiting for them to make a Namor the Submariner movie. That'd be fun. That's Marvel's version of Aquaman.
Okay.
And he's sometimes literally a villain because he's just like, I don't fucking care. But anyway.
Yeah, let's get back to the podcast episode.
Look, the nerd rants have to happen sometime.
He looked really upset.
I am upset. Oh my god, not knowing Clark Kent is Kal-El is the same as not knowing that fucking Steve Rogers is Captain America.
And okay, yeah.
Like
I understand. Okay, I can understand that contrast because again, I'm just not familiar with DC.
No, that's not an excuse though. Everyone knows that Clark Kent is Kal-El. It's brought up anytime Superman shows up.
I can get my parents on the phone and see if they know it.
I'm sure one of them does. I'm sure. I am sure one of them does.
Maybe my dad.
Literally.
I don't think my mom would. My dad maybe.
Literally half the cast of Justice League will, at least half the time, call Clark Cal. Like, Diana will call him Cal. Just because, like, it's like, I have to be real with you. Let me call you your birth name. Listen, Cal. Like, I don't think Batman ever calls him Cal. He just calls him Clark. Usually just, shut up, Clark. You know, Bruce, you're not always right. Yes, I am. I'm Batman. Shut up, Clark. But yeah, so there's this guy that looks like Shang Tsung. I can't speak Asian words. And essentially they run him over, and it just does nothing.
Yeah.
Because it turns out this guy is a ghost.
Woo!
He's a cursed boy, who is a ghost half the time with superpowers, and then when he's not a ghost with superpowers, he's an old guy in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And he needs to marry a green-eyed girl and then sacrifice her to his god to be revitalized into a full human. So essentially, he's just a hungry ghost. Mm-hmm. But with a lot of power, both legitimately, like, I have superpowers, and he just has a lot of pull, like, because he's the mob boss. So they go and they retreat, and they do some digging and stuff like this, and find that there's this girl Gracie, who was trying to protect Wang's love interest, and failed horribly.
Oh, absolutely.
But she joins the party. And they go to the main hub of the bad guys, and Wang and Jack go in and are like, hey, if we're not back in whatever, like, go on without us. So then Jack and Wang get captured. and they have to get their way out. I believe somebody else comes in, right? Like Wang's brother or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it his brother or just his friend?
I vaguely remember a character named Eddie existing, but I don't remember the relationship.
I don't think it was Eddie.
No, it wasn't Eddie?
I think Eddie was Gracie's partner.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. But there was another guy who, like, Jack got a gun, and then this guy comes in with a submachine gun, and they trade. He's like, yeah, no, give me that one. Essentially, like, Captain America and Thor's like, no, you get the small one. I want the new one. And so they all bust out, manage to get a bunch of, like, you know, trapped people out and all this stuff. Gracie comes in and gives some backup, and there's this big old breakout. But in that time, Gracie lags behind for a second and gets captured by this weird, like, monster creature thing.
And what the weird
the knockoff Wookiee.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more of a knockoff Wampa, isn't it?
Wampa?
The thing that traps Luke in the cave.
Yeah, okay.
It's more like a Wampa.
Yeah.
Or like a troll from Elder Scrolls. Which is basically a Wampa. But so that thing captures her, and Shang Tsung, I'm just gonna call him Shang Tsung because it's basically Shang Tsung, is like, oh, you have green eyes too. Cool. 2 for the price of 1 for my god. Yay! And apparently it works, so you don't have to be Chinese, because she goes into the same trance and does all this stuff too, and, like, you know, the ceremonial sword doesn't burn her and all this shit.
Yeah, like, both of them make it through unscathed.
Yeah, so apparently they don't need to be of Chinese descent.
Yeah, so what was the whole...
So it can't be... And he did say that, like, many had done it before, but, like, couldn't do the ceremony, or just didn't work somehow. I don't know. But, like, dude, like, it's like, I've been waiting for hundreds of years. Bullshit. Look harder.
You obviously haven't looked hard enough, because you found 2 just off the street.
Yeah, fucking, come on. Like...
Get some better henchmen.
And Gracie had an apartment in Little China. Like, fucking... Come on, man. But it's supposed to be a popcorn flick. Who cares? So they go in and they're like, oh shit, Gracie's still... Like, Gracie got kidnapped now. So now they're both in there. We gotta go back and get her. And they go and they find old guy. Old sensei boy. Old sensei guy, old man. Guy. Wizard man.
Yes.
Old.
Wise old man.
Yes, wise old wizard man. He has, like, magic dust and stuff.
Yeah.
But he kind of... I don't think it was. But it reminds me of the guy who voiced Zuko's uncle.
Oh, Iroh.
Yeah.
I was just thinking
It reminds me of him. I don't think it was, though. What was his name? What was that guy's name? He passed away. Shoot. It's not Mutaito. That's something else from a video game or something. What was his name? Look it up. Look up who voiced Iroh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna drive me nuts.
I like how that was the first, like, search when I was like, who voiced Uncle.
Who voiced Uncle Iroh?
Yeah. Let's
see.
Don't mind us. Voiced by.
Mako. Okay, yeah, Mako. I think he was also in 3 Ninjas. Or Surf Ninja, one of those. But yeah, so Mako or Mako, I forget who it was. With, like, how you pronounce it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it was him. Mm-mm. I don't think that fits the timeline. But it was that kind of person, or like the sensei from Karate Kid, whose name I also forget. God damn it. But, you know, that kind of character, that kind of look, that actor type. You know, the kind of person who would be typecast in that role. That's just an unfortunate truth.
Yeah.
What Jackie Chan is very quickly becoming nowadays. Literally, he played the same character in the Karate Kid reboot. And that was like 10 years ago. Oops. But anyway, so they meet him, and he's like, sure, I can help you out. It'll be fun. And they go through the caverns, and like these caverns that are beneath the sewer system, and it just looks like a freaking D&D cave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, what's that goop there? It's like, it's the blood of the earth. The earth bleeds, I think it was black. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the earth bleeds black like we bleed red and blah, 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 blah. It's cursed land. And then this just freaking, like, weird dragon worm thing comes out of, like, a hole. And it's just, like, throw some magic dust on it, like Link. Just, and it's like, you will not come back anymore.
Yeah, just D&D dungeon.
Yeah, that's their wizard.
And beholders and all, too.
Yeah, there literally is a beholder. I think they call it an observer, but
beholder.
which is another term for that monster. Another term is Kakio demon, if we're talking about Doom. But, like, you know what I'm saying. Observer, beholder, Kakio demon, that. Mm-hmm. The big, doughy, round thing with a lot of eyes. The thing where in the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon, they say its only weakness is the beauty of a flower, which makes it deflate like a balloon, which makes no sense.
What? Okay.
Yeah. I have that whole show. It's shit. We should watch it. The whole point of that is...
we're going through. We're trying to get to.
Yeah, they get to the thing, and essentially, it looks like if you mixed the location where the fight happens at the end of Temple of Doom and the beginning of Temple of Doom, and just kind of mash them together. Kat doesn't get that reference. That's for you, audience. No help for you.
Oh.
We'll watch Temple of Doom eventually, anyway. We'll watch all the Indiana Jones except for the fourth one, because that one is shit. No. Unless you guys voice that you want us to watch it on Twitter. Engage with us on Twitter. Engage with us on Patreon. So we get to the main battle, and everybody was kung fu fighting, and it was fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
Boo.
But eventually, Jack goes up, and he's got like his knife, like he's lost his gun at this point, or it ran out of bullets. But like everybody's been fighting. He goes to get Gracie against Shang Tsung, and at this point, like they've done the ritual, and he literally like pokes Wang's love interest with this like long fucking needle that looked like it hurt, and then just starts to add the blood. So now he's like more mortal, but still has his powers. And the whole fast reflexes thing comes back, and like Jack throws the knife at Shang Tsung, who catches it and goes, "Oh, nice knife. Goodbye." Throws it. Gets caught again, throws it back, right in the head.
Nice.
Kills the dude. And I was like, fast reflexes. I think, Kat, you went like, oh shit, the thing came back.
Yeah. I'm learning.
The thing, it was a Chekhov's gun. It was shown in the first act and used in the third. That's literally a Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
To a T. It's just not a gun. Chekhov's knife. But so anyway, then I believe Wind Guy, because I think Rain Guy was already killed by this point, right?
Yeah. I think it was Wind that was still kicking.
Yeah. Well, there were two that were still kicking.
Okay.
Wind Guy, who sees that his boss is dead and gets so angry that he explodes.
Oh yeah.
Trying to take them out with him, but he gets so mad he explode. And then Raiden shows back up and just starts freaking lightning while walking down the hallway like he's Darth Vader in freaking Rogue One. Just substitute lightning with and you've got Vader. So they're like, oh shit. And like they wizard guy comes back and is like, hey, we're here, we're in the ceiling. Thunk, here's a grappling hook, climb up. And so everybody's climbing up. Jack goes last, and like the guy starts, trying to grab onto Jack. Well, luckily, apparently in the ceiling there was just a jade dragon. And they just go push and crush Raiden's head. And then the whole building explodes.
Yeah.
And so then something that I don't think that a lot of movies do, which is actually kind of cool, it shows like the celebration after, almost like Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah,
everybody's all happy and stuff like this, and it's
Wayne
like,
got
oh,
his girl back.
Yeah, Wayne got his girl and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, like here's the money that I owe you, and blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, gonna miss you, Jack. It's like, I'll be back, and all this stuff. And then like it says bye to Gracie and all this stuff, and Wayne goes, aren't you gonna kiss her? And Jack just goes, nah, and leaves. Just leaves. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people quote. It's like, aren't you gonna kiss her? No. Because that's great. It's a fun trope, like veer.
Yeah.
They don't end up together. They kissed and they don't even end up together.
Yeah.
In fact, when they do kiss, it's like, oh, sorry, it was just spur of the moment.
Yeah, I did appreciate that. Great.
Sorry, spur of the moment. Happy to be alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so Kat, what were your thoughts
about the movie overall?
Yeah, now that I took 42 minutes explaining the plot with some tirades.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I like when we were watching the movie together and the girl Wang's girl gets kidnapped and you basically said like, all right, it's like, here's the plot, go.
Yeah, it literally is like everything before that is preamble, and then you've got that thing which is very expertly shot, very chaotically. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a very crowded airport and stuff like this. You can barely understand what's going on, but you still see, oh shit, that girl got grabbed.
Yeah.
We gotta go get her. And then I'm just like, all right, from this point, go.
Yeah. And like, honestly, it was kind of hard for me. Like, I was looking back at my notes and I was thinking, like, when watching the movie, like, it was kind of hard to really take detailed notes because, like, I'm not a multitasker.
It doesn't take a breath.
Yeah, it just kept going and going and going. I'm like, if I stop paying attention, if I focus my attention to my laptop for a minute to type some detailed thoughts, I've already missed like 3 major plot points. Like, it's obnoxious, but it was a very fun movie.
Yeah.
I think it'd be one of those movies, like, if I went to go see it in the theater, I would probably kind of be like, that was okay, I guess. But, just sitting at home watching it, like, hey, this was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's in fact, it's pretty telling that, let me find out exactly what this line is called. It's called the, let's see, video staff picks line. So, like, the whole idea of this line with this cover art is just it's just shit that got popular in the video store. Like, so
yeah, most rented at Family Video.
And that is a thing of merit. Like, some things they just don't do well in theater, but then once it becomes more accessible at a cheaper price through, now Netflix or digital, or back then video stores, it just suddenly, boom, explodes. In fact, It's a Wonderful Life was like that. It was a fucking failure when it first came out. But then, later on, it went into public domain, so everybody could just show it in syndication, and it was a Christmas movie. Everybody was wanting to show Christmas movies around that time, so every fucking channel was watching it, and essentially just beat it into popularity. And that's just how that worked.
Oh. But I'm trying to think of other things I really liked. It was a lot of fun movie. I did I definitely like Jack, but Jack felt like he was just complaining the whole movie. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm here, but I don't want to be here.
I hate everything that's happening right now.
But
why am I here?
Why am I doing this?
Oh, right. They stole my goddamn truck. That's another thing. They stole his truck.
Right. Oh,
and at the very end, they find his truck, he revs it up, and that's how they get out.
Oh my god, yeah. His whole motivate.
It's just the catalyst. It doesn't matter all that much.
Yeah. Oh.
It's just his catalyst for being there.
Yeah, basically, because he just like in the grand scheme of it all, with the rest of the cast, Jack just felt so out of place in a weird way.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point. He's just like, I'm not supposed to be here, but I am. Bye.
And it was so funny, like, as the movie was going on, I'm like, oh, great, Wang's gonna just be, like, this useless sidekick character. No, he kicked ass.
Yeah, he kicked a lot of ass.
He was pretty great. Like, honestly, if we get around to rewatching this movie, I'm gonna pay closer attention to him, because I'm gonna be like, I want to see all the cool shit that he did the whole time.
Yeah, Jack is the point of view character, but he's not the hero of the movie. No, the hero of the movie is really Wang up until essentially, the whole movie is kind of like a modern day D&D campaign where, Wang is the fighter. He's the fighter. He's the one who studied the lore of the campaign given by the Dungeon Master and all this shit. Meanwhile, Jack is just the ranger who just happened to get the last hit on the end boss.
Who's just, like, kind of, like, mumbling and memeing in the background, too.
Yeah.
Oxy.
Yeah. The only way he could have been a memeier character is if he was a bard archetype, but
no,
he wasn't that cool. No, Jack's pretty cool, but
yeah.
I'm just saying rangers in D&D are not nearly as cool as bards.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, because, guys, tirade for 1 second. First off, play Dungeons & Dragons.
Find a good group of friends that have, like, basically, like, if you have a group of friends that are like, we want to go into a deep, dark story, play with those friends. If you got a group of friends
need to
that
be a
want
deep, dark story.
No, or it depends on the group. Like, it's like, gotta find a good group of friends. If you all want the same thing, that's a good D&D group. You all want to meme for 5 hours at a time, that's a good group.
Or once the quarantine is over, just look up your local game shop, like your card and, board game shop. Mm-hmm. You probably have one in your town somewhere. And they probably do D&D on Wednesdays. Yeah. That's usually D&D night at those things. And they're usually pretty welcoming. I had a killer DM the first time I played, but that was just because I live in shitty Midwest, where everybody's bitter constantly because we don't live on the coasts.
And if you're gonna play with, if you can't play with friends, like you said, go to a game shop. And if the idea of playing with strangers terrifies you, bring a good friend with you. Because
or shit, sign up for Roll20. Sometimes you can just find a game that's like, hey, we're looking for a new player who wants to join. Then all you need to do is you don't even have to show your face. Just show up with a thing that can record, that can broadcast your voice.
Yeah. But yeah,
don't even need to buy dice at that point.
Yeah, D&D is expensive you could say that for a lot of hobbies. It's as expensive as you make it.
If you buy it, yeah. But there are ways around that. Reddit. Reddit and PDFs.
Yeah.
Just, when you realize which books you actually use the most and you enjoy, buy them.
Yeah.
But before that, fuck it.
Honestly, one of these days, I think I'm just gonna
and play Bard.
Yeah, I'm gonna suck it up and just buy like a player's handbook one of these days because if you're gonna go the stranger route, like a friend that wanted to play D&D dragged me to a complete stranger's house, but we've been playing a lot. And the DM is cool. Like, he has, 5 player handbooks, 5 separate ones. And every single one of us is always holding one because it's like, I still reference back to it a lot, even though I've been playing for years.
Now, I use D&D Beyond, which that is a good way to do it, too. Because if you make a D&D Beyond account, first off, you can use your Twitch account. You probably have one if you're listening to a podcast. If not, Twitch account is free. You don't need to buy the Twitch Prime. Mm-hmm. And you can just use that, log in to D&D Beyond with that, and just buy what you want to use. Mm-hmm. You can buy any of the books. You don't have to buy any of them. I wouldn't recommend buying all of them in the bundle because, yes, it's a discounted price, but it's a discounted price of almost $700.
Jesus!
There's a lot of bucks because it also includes the adventures.
Okay.
And all that stuff. But first off, there's some stuff that's already allowed just in the character builder. Essentially, it's the basic bit of shit. Human, fighter, there you go.
But, and you know, like, just go to Google. There's so much... I mean, you have to discuss it with the DM, but there's so much cool, like, homebrew shit.
There's literally a homebrew thing that adds a race that is just, hey, in Dungeons and Dragons, do you want to play Mystery Dungeon? There you go. Here's all the things that being a water type does. Here's all the things that being a fire type does. Go nuts. Like, literally, there is a thing in playtesting right now by Wizards of the Coast, the people who make Dungeons and Dragons. Therefore, this is official beta content, and it just turns the monk into a JoJo character.
Oh, yes!
Ura!
I can't wait for our JoJo campaign. It's going to be great.
But, yeah, so it's fun. But if you're playing, play a bard.
I think Bard would be a good first class because it could kind of do a little bit of everything.
It's the jack of all trades.
Yeah.
It's the jack of all trades, master of also all trades.
Yeah.
Bardic inspiration.
I only have ever played one Bard, and the whole time I was playing as her, I'm like, damn, Patch can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But, again, if you are wondering why we're bringing up D&D, again, this movie just feels like a D&D campaign set in modern day.
This is just a very long one-shot that just kind of went wrong in also all the best ways.
Yeah. John Carpenter is the DM, and then, like, Jack is... I guess you'd call Jack a fighter. He's not a monk.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, he uses a lot of guns and throwing knives. I guess he's a ranger. Though fighters can use ranged stuff, too.
Yeah.
He's a ranged fighter. Wang is definitely a monk.
Oh, absolutely.
Old man McWiseboy is a wizard.
Oh, absolutely. Sorcerer, wizard, either one.
He's a wizard.
Okay. Other party members, Gracie would be
an NPC who's just along for the ride.
Okay. Yeah. Ow. Oof.
Escort. Essentially Ashley from Resident Evil 4. Leon! But, and then the other guy was kind of, he could martial arts and also used guns. So maybe he's the ranger.
Yeah.
But, and then they just fucking go. You're fighting a lich. That's what the Shang Tzu guy is. He's a lich.
Yeah, you're right.
He's just a lich. Like, it is just, yo, you want a modern day setting that has some Asian inspiration. D&D, Big Trouble in Little China, go.
Yeah, we have got a few cool dungeons, got some plot, some hints and clues. Follow. You can even go to a brothel. Like, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be a really cool one shot, guys.
Yeah. and that go. Like,
again, like now, and it's after every like as we've been recording these episodes, and like I usually have my initial like impressions like after the movie or when we first start talking, where I could be like, okay, that wasn't such a bad movie, and then by the end of the podcast episode, I'm like, you know what, this movie kind of stunk. Pocahontas, Aristocats. But I think this is one of those cases where, like, after the movie ended, I'm like, this was fun, but I don't think this was the most, memorable movie for me. Like, there's some scenes in there that I kind of remember, but now that we're actually talking about it...
It's just a very fun movie.
And we're kind of describing some of the stuff here. I'm like, I kind of want to watch this again to kind of look at it a little deeper.
Yeah, again, it's just a very fun movie. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, I would say that this is a perfect movie to put on while you're having a party, while you're hosting a get-together with friends.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? I like that. I can kind of see something like that.
Just like if you have multiple TVs set up in a room because it's like your game room or something like that. The main one's playing Smash. The other one, slightly askew, is Big Trouble in Little China.
That's where all the snacks... all the snacks are over there, so you can try to drag your friends into watching the movie.
Yeah, it's there with the snack table. You know, it's like, hey... You're not in this round in the Smash tournament. Go get some Go get some snatch. Jesus. Go get some snacks and watch Big Trouble in Little China for a little bit. Or watch Smash. I don't care.
Yeah. Can we? Oh, I want us to be able to do that once we're allowed to actually leave the house.
I mean, hopefully the quarantine will be over by Friendsgiving.
Oh yeah. Oh, we gotta plan a Friendsgiving now with
Ugh.
Big Trouble in Little China. You ready to burn a turkey?
No, because I'll just buy a rotisserie oven. Because I actually know how to cook a turkey in a rotisserie oven.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. That'd be neat.
You set it and forget it. That's their slogan, but also kind of true.
But yeah, I think that was really about all the notes I had about the movie. It was really enjoyable, and I'm definitely down for a rewatch at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, is this the first movie that we've said, like, that you've come across and been like, I'd want to watch that again? Voluntarily.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to other movies. Like, what else have we watched?
Well, we watched Batman and Batman Returns.
Oh, yeah, I definitely, like, first Batman, I would definitely be down for a rewatch.
Okay.
Yeah. Batman Returns was good, but I think the one watch was enough. Pocahontas.
New.
Absolutely.
Rudolph?
Yeah, that's an okay one-off for me. Like, I feel like if I watched it as a kid, maybe I would have enjoyed it more, but
Not thinking of putting that back on this Christmas?
Probably not. I'll probably just stick with my old Grinch.
Or we can watch Die Hard.
Yeah, you're right. We do have. Let's just do that.
Like adults.
This is the adult Christmas movie. God, it has to be better than A Christmas Story or whatever for like the 712th time.
He had red eyes. But yeah, so wait, Christmas Story or Christmas Carol?
Christmas Story or whatever. The one where it's like, yeah, show me your eye out, kid.
Yeah, that's Christmas Story.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just looking at our podcast episodes because I can't even remember what we do. Yay! I mean, okay, we're doing the Dragon Balls, the side thing.
This is what I have to deal with, people.
Guys, I don't like it either. I'm a mess. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, besides the Dragon Ball, but that check out the Dragon Ball episodes. Those are fun.
Mm. Oh. I even have a special intro for those ones now.
Oh yeah, you're doing some cool shit.
But yeah, so is there anything else that you want to add about Big Trouble in Little China?
Not really. I asked all my questions, and I think I covered really everything I really felt about the movie. Again, I feel like another rewatch would. Maybe I should start doing that. Like we watch the movie together, and then maybe at some point I just rewatch it on my own and try to get some more thoughts on about it. Because again, my memory is shit, and this was definitely a movie that I probably I'm gonna hit pause for a second and try to actually take some better notes on this. I think I'll start doing that from now on.
But yeah, like there are some quotable scenes. I just looked up Big Trouble in Little China quotes, and almost all of them are from Jack. Which again makes me think maybe he is the bard because he gets all the good one-liners.
All the quips.
Yeah, like
oozes way more charisma than a truck driver should ever have.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you about an accident, and I don't want to hear "Act of God." Yeah, Egg Shen. That's the wizard.
Okay.
But like which low pan, little old basket case on wheels, or the 10-foot tall roadblock. But yeah, just remember what old Jack Burton does when the earth quakes and the poison arrows fall from the sky and the pillars of heaven shake. Yeah, Jack Burton just looks that big old storm right square in the eye and he says, "Give me your best shot, pal. I can take it." That's the quote. Good quote. He just says that into a CB. But yeah, so I think that's it. Yeah. It's a good movie. Go give it a watch, especially if you have a group of friends with you. I know that's a little bit harder now, but you know, there's stuff like
Rabbit died.
Yeah, it got bought out, or did it just fully die?
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm sure there's some share streaming thing now eventually. It's somewhere on the net. But like, you know, just find out where to go to watch that and watch it with some friends.
Yeah.
over a Discord call or something.
I mean, we got plenty of time to sit and watch movies. Well, some people have plenty of time to sit and watch movies now, so...
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, because we are in these quarantine times, if you're one of the people who has to still be out amongst everybody, you know, like the service workers or the retail people or anything like that, you know, please use caution, please be safe, and we wish you the best of luck, and thank you.
We appreciate you, my dudes. Like, I know, retail's rough enough when we're not dealing with a fucking pandemic.
Hopefully, most people are at least being a little bit more understanding. Probably not. We saw that one old guy who was just not okay with the curbside thing.
Oh.
But you know,
but there are a lot of angrier, like, set in their way dudes down in middle Illinois than northern Illinois. So
yeah, like I said, Midwest, everyone's bitter. It gets too hot in the summer, it gets too cold in the winter. Fuck, why'd my ancestors come here?
Honestly, a mood.
Yeah.
Again, even my father's family from Mexico. I'm second gen. They had a choice. They settled sooner
to Illinois.
Specifically, they went to Chicago, but still Illinois. Y'all.
I know where we want to go. Let's go to the place that has a history of bootlegging and mafia death. That sounds like a great time. I mean, who knows? Maybe them being from Mexico, they thought, you know, it's like, oh, Chicago, that's a city that shows up in movies. Obviously, that must be in a populous area.
I'm hoping there's a better reason for it, because as far as I know, Grandpa Arias was pretty good with his money, so he probably had a valid reason for going to Chicago.
Yeah, maybe he was just like, New York or California or Illinois. They'll probably stretch more in Illinois. That place sucks.
Thanks. But any hoozles, I think we can basically just wrap it up right now.
Yeah.
We mentioned that we have Patreon. You can always follow us on Twitter. I'm at Cat27.
And I'm at Mutagen Works. Commission's open.
And we also have a Twitter for the general podcast. It is called Out of the Ice Pod 1. We try to keep that updated with every now and then a little hint of what's to come. You should check out the Dragon Ball artwork. It was really cool.
Yeah, and if you do end up liking the art that I did for those things, feel free to, you know, give me a direct message on Twitter. I haven't made it public yet, but I do have a pricing sheet for commissions. And from what I've heard, people say it's pretty fair. So I tried to make it fair. So yeah, feel free to DM me and I'll send you that information. I'm working on, you know, giving it a nice picturesque look to give it on a pinned tweet. But before that, I can just send it to you.
Yeah, so also make sure we are nothing in particular on YouTube. So take a look for us.
That's our YouTube channel.
Yep, same thing for Patreon, right?
Yes.
And speaking of Patreon,
because the Patreon is just generally our normal works.
Yeah, so just, I mean, this is the first episode I think we really recorded where we had the Patreon kind of set up.
Yeah.
So figure might as well give a shout out to the two people that are the Patreons.
Thanks, Mom and Stepdad.
Thanks, Mark. We love you.
Yeah. And if you do back to a certain extent, I think it's the second tier, you will be put on a backer list on the end of our videos. Unless I forget, in which case I'll probably apologize in the next video and make sure that it's in that one.
Just put your name in lights.
Yeah, like, I'm still getting used to doing that, but I'm trying to make sure that I do it every time. I've got it on a sticky note on my freaking computer. So
it's early days. We're learning.
Yeah. So, and I'm actually thinking eventually I might make a higher tier that if you donate so much, I'll literally make you a piece of thumbnail art that you can use wherever, but I will display next to your name in the back of the list.
Nice.
I've seen some people do that, and I'm like, oh, I could do that. I draw. Like, you know, I could do that for people if they want. Nice little bonus. So eventually I want to get that on there, but probably it would be a higher tier. So I'll probably, like, there'll be some tiers before that one gets installed. But
yeah, and anything's appreciated, even if it's just for the ice cubes. It's appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that really just about wraps it up. Unless you got anything else to say.
Should ice cubes be what we call people who like the podcast? Or ice cubes?
Oh
No, nah, I think it's dumb. That's dumb.
That's adorable.
There's a rapper named Ice Cube.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
You know what? Hold on. You know what?
what?
We have a Twitter. We have an Out of the Ice Twitter. Out of the Ice Pod 1. If you listen, first off, give us reviews. Give us 5 stars wherever you're listening to it, or like it, or anything like that. It does help. I know that you hear that on every podcast, and you probably don't do it. But we're very new to this. We don't have an existing fan base. It would really help us, and we would appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And go to our Twitter and suggest what, if you like this podcast and you've been listening to each episode, tweet us what you want to be called.
Yeah, honestly, we're open. We're open.
Yeah, I mean, freaking the Game Grumps have lovelies. Danny Gonzalez has Greg.
Greg.
Yeah, he just calls his fan base Greg.
That's amazing.
And all that stuff. I think Jacksepticeye, his are his little elves. Mm-hmm. And PewDiePie is the 9-year-old army. All that stuff. Just. What is a thing that we could use to give ourselves a community here,
Yeah.
Something that we could put as a badge of pride.
Yeah. Listen, and if you're listening, thank you for being a part of the brainstorming session. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, it's early days, and thank you for being here on these early days. Eventually, we'll probably have something where, if you're a backer, because, I think Patreon shows how long people have been a backer.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, if we get to the point where we can afford to do merchandising, I'll probably make a early backer pin or something, or a sticker. Mm-hmm. Something. Decal.
Yeah.
Twitter badge. I don't know. Something.
But yeah, in the meantime, go give the other episodes a listen. Go give us a like. Go watch Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
I'm Kat.
I'm Scott.
And
we're Out of the Ice.